All right, what's going on? What's going down? This hood atheist. All right, man, I'm back, man. I'm back. I try to let a lot of time go by before I, you know, drop these classics. So a lot of things has happened since I last made a video. So this video I'm just gonna be focused on. This is gonna be part 2 to God and the coronavirus. All right, so the last time I made a video about this was like probably early point to midpoint of the pandemic, where a lot of things was happening. And there was so many things that was happening. I figured, I would let this marinate a little. It was a lot of prayers going on. It had to be. Lots of people were dying. So it was a lot of prayers that was given up. For what? I don't know, because, it didn't stop the virus. It didn't create a vaccine. We'll get to that, but, So, I like to focus on a thing, in the U.S., the pandemic in the U.S. So Donald Trump basically did nothing to help what was happening with the pandemic. He did nothing. When he could have stepped in, he never stepped in. And while people were dying, he was golfing. He was enjoying his life. So the thing with that is, if there's a guy that's way higher than Donald Trump on a food chain, as far as mental attributes, if he wanted to make himself physical, he can. We're talking about God here, right? We're talking about a guy that can make a planet, a guy that can make another human being out of another human being. A loving God. Let's not forget, this is still the loving God. So this God allowed Donald Trump not to do nothing, did not go out of his way to try to get him replaced, did not go out of his way to try to come to him in a dream and basically sway him to help the sick people. That never happened. When we look at the overall picture with what happened with this pandemic, where was God in all this? He's been MIA. I haven't heard nothing. I've just heard a lot of prayers being given up, but I still haven't seen the help. There's people that's starving right now, and we talking about a guy that fed thousands of people with bread and fish, right? He helped those people. And this was a worse situation than that was. We're talking about people dying here. Still no help on that. Still no help. So through this whole pandemic, these people gave, how much did they give? They gave about $1,800. The U.S. government gave its citizens $1,800 to survive off of for, who knows if they even give any more money the way things look. But we're talking about a Senate that was arguing back and forth, bickering about the price of a bill and these kind of issues, while real issues was going on. People were losing their lives. People were losing their houses. People were losing their livelihood. And at the same time all this was happening, never once did God say, okay, this is enough. This is enough now. You know what? I have to step in. You guys are really out of control. You know what? I'm going to make Nancy Pelosi appear, and Mitch McConnell's office, I'm going to put y'all together and I'm going to put a vision inside y'all head so y'all can see what you guys are doing is wrong. I mean, that could have been done by the snap of a finger, but he didn't do it. He just watched them go back and forth while he was doing what, I don't know. Right? So we have all these people, over 400,000 people that have lost their lives. I mean, we have families that's mourning the dead right now because, I mean, it's been on the highest scale that we've seen in over 100 years with people dying over a pandemic. All these people died. You don't think that a lot of these people have prayed to God, that believe that God will protect them from the virus when that never happened? I mean, why is the church people not in church? Why are they, for some strange reason, why aren't they not wearing masks? Why aren't they protected? I mean, these are the very people that go on a Sunday morning to church to give offerings, their time, their mistaken dedication to a being that really doesn't care at the end of the day, that lets you gasp for air and die. I mean, we're talking about a loving God here. I mean, we have to keep stressing that this is an alleged loving God. And if this is love, I mean, I don't want to see his hate then. I mean, what will he be capable of then? I mean, we have had, like record high numbers of homelessness. I mean, if God can't fix homelessness, what makes people think that he can, bring a person back to life, or, do something even greater than, putting money in a homeless person's pocket? I mean, these people suffer the worst also, and they're still out on the streets. Because if I had the power to give food, unlimited food, and it wouldn't cost me anything, and I can make these people, I can give these people houses, I can give these people, proper wages. I mean, I could just give the money for the rest of their lives so they don't have to suffer. But what do? I sit back and watch them while they pray to me for help. I mean, the thought of that is ridiculous in itself. So, I mean, we all know out of this whole pandemic, who suffered the most. And a lot of it is minorities, black people, Hispanics, the minorities. I mean, they suffered the most with this pandemic due to, lack of funding in their local and state government. I mean, different things. I mean, they suffered the most. And I made a video about this before, about God really not liking black people. I mean, why is it that, and not just black people, like I said, minorities, period. Why is it that minorities that pray to him the most, I mean, during history has taken the blunt of every negative thing that has came their way with no help, no intervention, no help from a side, that supposedly allegedly loves them. I mean, it's just crazy. And then for minorities to actually pray to this guy, to think that things would change. I mean, look at history, look at slavery, look at what's happening, look at what, you know, look at what these racists these last few years have taught people. What has it taught? I mean, it taught you that nothing has really changed, that these minorities is still at, the mercy of these oppressors. And with the help of a higher being would be greatly appreciated. But the guy never does anything. This guy never intervenes. He never stops the oppressor from oppressing, the person and letting the person live their lives. It's crazy to me. Because if I had the power, I would do it. I would help everyone. That is a fact. I mean, if people think that God is merciless, I mean, the only thing they have to do is like really go on these websites. I mean, these gorish websites where you see murders, kidnappings, and all types of, viewer discretion advised kind of videos. You have people getting decapitated, people getting in horrible train accidents, car accidents, motorcycle accidents, murders. And when you see these things being done on video with these things happening, you say to yourself, like, wow, like this is the most brutal thing I ever seen. And if I had the power to stop this, I would. So if I'm a human and I can just think that logically as far as, thinking of another person's well-being, but if I had the power to stop them, of course I would. Why would I watch that? I mean, they have videos on these sites. When you go on the videos, I mean, you got kids getting ran over by cement trucks and these crazy kind of, I mean, it's things like you wouldn't even want to see, but this is real life. It's just captured on video. And then when you see how merciless it's like violence at 10 million. And when you look at it, you say, wow, what God sits back and watches this happen? What God sit back and watches another person get murdered, watch another child get tortured, murdered, killed? I mean, the answer's very simple, ladies and gentlemen. God doesn't exist. Never have, never will. This is Hood Atheist, over and out.